change the scene. Oh, look at that production value. Beautiful. So we have Mouse MorroW or Red Zerg from Sweden in the bottom left. The map is Zelnaga Caverns, but in fact it is MLG Zelnaga Caverns. I did bug JP a little bit, so he gets the stuff, the MLG maps over onto Europe, so we can use them for this show match. So thanks MLG and JP for that. And Naniwa from Team Dignitas in the top right. With me, of course, welcome Elaine. What's up?
Glad to be here. Incredibly excited to see one of my favorite Zerg players of all time play.
Yes, indeed.
I remember when he switched. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I remember when he first switched. You know, it was kind of an ego thing. Everyone was saying, "Oh, you're so good because you're playing the easy race." I'm waiting for him to win a tournament so that Idra will stop complaining about Zerg and balance for the rest of eternity, though.
Indeed, yeah. That's if we checked our thread, there were a lot of silver medals for MorroW recently. And before we get this really on, let me get out a few words. First of all, thanks to Douglas, the man, just you know, shoving out 100 euros out of his own pocket, his very own pocket, to this show match, and having, you know, the trust in RageQuitTV to bring that on in a, you know, nice fashion. We appreciate it. I hope you guys appreciate it too. He is in the chat, so make sure to give a big thanks to him, and of course thanks to the players. And yeah, I can't wait for those games to unfold on those beautiful maps. We have Zelnaga Caverns, Scrap Station, and Metalopolis as the MLG edits, so Metalopolis will have no close spawns. And then we have the 4 GSL maps: Crossfire, Teldarim Altar, and
Terminus Re.
Terminus Re, and what's the last one? Crevasse. So that's a really nice macro map pool, and that's why I'm so excited for it. Really nice. And jumping right into the game right now, we have Nani going for the very standard timing on his core and gateway. Pretty economical, nothing over early. Gas is coming up, and MorroW opening up with the Speedling first, going for a Speedling expand pretty soon, I assume.
Very, very fast, very safe 14 gas, 14 pool build. I would have liked to see him 15 hatch. He does like to do that a lot, especially with the MLG map change, which means that the bottom of his ramp cannot actually be walled in with bunkers, you know, unless you put like 6 down. But regardless, it's a really nice build, especially if Naniwa does decide to put on any early pressure. Naniwa does have a bit of a reputation for doing that exactly. 1 base and 2 base timing pushes, so it's very, very nice that MorroW did do this safe build to get Speedlings out very quickly. Yeah,
definitely. One thing to mention, MorroW and Nani practice a lot. In fact, those games were played during their practice time. We had to reschedule a little bit. We did plan them to play, you know, a bit later, like right now. So we would cast the replays a bit delayed, but they would be playing right now. But they had to play it earlier today, which is totally fine. And of course, we are casting from replays. I know some of you are going to complain, but it's just the thing. It's a bit more professional. Ghosting is completely, you know, ghosting and lagging are the issues that happen with live cast, and those are completely ruled out by casting from replays. So we're just
also
doing that.
Downtime.
Sorry.
Also downtime.
Yeah.
But
sure. Yeah.
anyway,
exactly.
It looks like Nani is going for a 3-gate expansion. He does have several sentries out to block his ramp if MorroW does decide to come in. Already has the pile on low ground, and is about to put down his Nexus as soon as he hits 400 minerals.
Yep, indeed. And Nani, as you mentioned before, known for very aggressive play from one base, but it is pretty commonly known that he's a very, very strong macro player. As you might know, he was the first one to reach 4K points when there was no Masters League, and you know, that's an accomplishment of some sort. So he's just a very strong player, and I can't wait to see what he's going to deliver, especially on the big maps. One Zergling by MorroW, getting into the base, getting the full scout. It's not that is an overly huge thing, because, you know, it's 3 gates. That's what MorroW expects. But it is a little bit of a bummer for Naniwa, because MorroW can play really, like, you know, can be very confident right now. Doesn't have to be scared of any kind of Stargate shenanigans. Oh, there's a Stargate, just as I mentioned that by Nani, but I assume he's going to cancel it as soon as the Zergling is going to die. Like, There's no point in throwing that up. It's a nice mind game though. Now, is he gonna cancel it, or is he like double trick MorroW? And it's like MorroW will assume he's gonna cancel it.
Well, I do like that MorroW also had the extra queen out very, very early. He is famous for his spread, for his creep spread, which is always just all over the map very, very quickly. He already has a nice overlord spread around the map, so that when he does get his lair, which is soon, he will be able to get creep down all over the map with his overlords as well. He also did throw down a roach warren in case there is other aggression, so he would be able to hold that off easily. With these extra queens out, he should be good against any fairly early air rushes, but with teching up, he should be getting Hydras after seeing that Stargate. Rage Hydra, of course, being a very, very good and popular build in ZVP.
Yeah, it's really weird that that Naniwa didn't cancel. Nani now coming in with some sentries, and you know, just force fielding, just implying some pressure. Always what you need to do, forcing MorroW to build units, but MorroW actually doesn't buy it. He was fine with the roach count he had, and continues droning up, which is just a hallmark of a very nice Zerg player. Just not, you know, Protoss wants him to make something that's not drones, but if you feel confident, you see the enemy army, there's no reason to buy it if you feel like you have enough army. And here comes a Void Ray.
Going down now that the Void Ray is coming.
Yeah, Void Ray on the way. It's still, I'm so confused by, it's so confused by Nani not canceling the Stargate. But yeah, I guess MorroW now had to account for that, and the Hydra is on the way. He's gonna get Hydras in time, but the Void Ray is definitely gonna be very annoying right here.
Well, the Void Ray, while it was scouted, he does know that MorroW does have a lot of roaches, so it's going to be useful nonetheless. There are Hydras coming out, and there are already 3 queens, so it should be easily dealt with unless he gets them in high numbers. He will have to be very, very careful to micro it away. There are Phoenixes coming out now, but it should be very, very good against those roaches, help keep his sentries alive.
Oh, Naniwa though, in quite a supply block situation right now. Just now, at, you know, a few seconds ago, threw down that pylon, so those Phoenix will be stuck a long time, and that is something that you don't want to have happen to you. Supply block.
It's 10 minutes into the game, and there's already creep spread halfway across the map,
yeah.
all the way to the Zelnaga towers, which is really good for those Hydras, since they are exceptionally slow off of creep, but with this much creep around, he should be able to feel free to expand anywhere, especially to the gold, and not be really afraid of too much afraid of Phoenixes or Void Rays.
Yeah, I love the creep spread. That's, as you mentioned, MorroW hallmark. He's just so good at that. He doesn't even stop. The creep terminals just finish up, and he goes on with it right away. Phoenix here in a little bit of a curious rally position. He's gonna get away though. Nani finally get out of his supply block. We have quite a hefty supply lead for MorroW already. Up about 30 supply. That's 10 drones, and the rest is army. So MorroW got a little bit ahead. I'm pretty sure that the supply block that I mentioned beforehand played into that. Yeah, and it would definitely give MorroW a little lead. He has a good army composition. The robotics bay is not yet finished for Naniwa, so it will be another minute or so until Colossus will be out, and that's quite some time in a StarCraft 2 game. So MorroW is standing pretty nicely, and is probably going to expand to a 4th and then potentially a 5th base relatively soon, as I know him.
Hopefully he will actually move out as soon as he hits 200 food, because that is the best way to deal with the Colossus Void Ray death ball that Nani appears to be planning. His Immortals, while he was waiting for the robotics bay, will be very, very useful, of course, against a huge number of roaches. There's a really, really good engagement with some awesome force fields from Naniwa. He cut off his army really well.
Oh, but you ran out of force fields, and now the Stalker's kind of getting run down.
He does lose all of his sentries, however. That is a huge win from R, because he just lost about 800 gas worth of units. That would take forever to reproduce, especially since he's pumping out Colossus at the same time.
Yes, indeed. I mean, those sentries, you cannot lose them. You want to keep them all game. And MorroW kind of had a nice, like, there were a lot of good force fields, but he kind of ran out of them, and Nani didn't quite have the timing in backing off there. So Nani now going for his 1-1, his armor upgrade is on the way. Colossus range and the first Colossus is on the way as well. And just as we see that coming up, MorroW, of course, with the nice timing, has a Spire finished just now. We saw it finishing up in the production tab. Some Phoenixes being annoying around the map, but not too much of a detriment with that kind of creep spread around.
fourth base is down for MorroW. He does look like he's going to definitely spread creep on the left base. Not sure if he's going to be taking it too soon. He's already at 172 to 107 food, so Nani is actually in a lot of trouble. He does have to completely turtle up until he does get the nice 200 death ball with enough Colossus numbers to actually take down this. But he is going to have his third base sniped.
Oh my god, MorroW grabs the Nexus with relative ease, and look at that! With the creep shred, he can just leave so quickly without even caring. That's such nice play from MorroW, and that shows how much that creep shred actually does for you. Like, it just gives insanely much mobility, more than most people imagine, I would go ahead and say. So Nani now in a pretty bad spot. You know, Protoss can still win games off of two bases with the death ball kind of play you mentioned, but it's gonna be hard, and he still has quite a way until the 200 supply mark.
MorroW working on +2 attack, range attack. In the meantime, a Baneling Nest is down for him, so perhaps we'll see him do Baneling drops kind of July style, but there aren't too many sentries left in the army, so it wouldn't be the most effective thing. He does pick off a few Zerglings at the Zelnok. He is finally starting to take out creep tumors. He really needs to do that more often, otherwise the mobility of MorroW will actually just kill Nani, because even if he does manage to attack, if this could go to a base trait, and MorroW would be able to get around much faster.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely see Baneling drops, as you mentioned. Here comes MorroW. Hold that thought. Nice force shoots go down, but it might not be enough. Looks like MorroW retreats anyways, though. But Nani, a bit greedy, standing, still hanging out at the watchtower. He is out of force fields. He cannot force fields any longer, so has to be careful. And they would go ahead and say that he should rather retreat right now. But it looks like he likes the narrow spot he's standing in, but now he's engaging again, and I'm not sure if that is the best idea for him right now, but his army is very strong. It has 1-1 upgrades, but I would definitely give the edge to MorroW right here.
Well, he doesn't quite have enough Corruptors, so there are still Colossus left over, which is a huge problem, obviously, for the huge number of Hydras that MorroW had. He does need to get Corruptors out as soon as possible. Overlord carry actually is nearly finished. But
29 roaches in production right now after this army from MorroW got cleaned up. Nani left with, you know, he did a good bit of damage, but he lost 2 Colossi, and only Stalkers left, 1 sentry, maybe 2. But here come the reinforcements, and if MorroW does pull back and waits for the rest of his roaches, he should be able to do a lot of damage right here. And the Colossus goes down, and I think this won't go well for Nani. We might see a GG pretty soon, actually.
The problem with the first fight, MorroW could have actually probably won that if he had about 4 more Corruptors to take down the Colossus. But since he didn't, he did actually lose the first fight, but it doesn't really matter because he has so much macro over Nani, who's still only on 2 bases, that he's able to re-macro immediately and just go back in for another push. With so few sentries and so little gas for Nani, he won't be able to really stop it. Force field is extremely, extremely useful and powerful with the Colossus ball to keep them from really, to really split the Zerg army while the Colossus really chew it up. There are only a few Phoenixes to support, so Corruptors will be able to take out the Colossus very well if he makes slightly more of them, but there's a good Roach force out right now, which is, you know, better against Colossus than Hydras.
And he loved the Roaches. They are 2-0. Carapace upgrade now on the way, and Zerglings coming up as well. And oh my god, the third looks like it's gonna get sniped again by MorroW. Nani tries to come in, but his army is so slow compared to the Roaches on creep, and there's nothing Nani can do right now. He's kind of bound to stay on his 1 base. He might try to put up the Nexus again, but the creep has spread so far that he can't actually build it right now. That is so depressing for Naniwa right now. He's so pinned down. I wonder what his plan is to actually, like, maybe he will just try to get to 200 somehow and maybe secure the space, but I don't know. It's gonna be so hard for him. He really needs to pull some magic to come back in this game, since he's about like 50 food behind right now.
He has been behind the entire game, just really trying to fight to survive, not to really win this game yet. He really should have been, you know, maybe doing a small patrol force of Stalkers with an observer going around killing these creep tumors. There's so many. I mean, it's completely just at his front door. There's creep on this, like on the gas in his 3rd base, which he's trying to retake. In the meantime, MorroW's pushing up while he's still at his 3rd base trying to defend that.
And here come the drops. Yeah, there are Banelings in the Overlords, and they're just gonna drop on the Starks. That's gonna do massive amounts of damage. Here come the Banelings. dropped on the Colossus and the Stalkers. Not too many Stalkers die, of course, they are armored.